Well, there is a story that has landed from Football Charges confirming to us that Arsenal are ready to really break the bank and get in Mohamed Kudus in the January transfer window. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share if you're watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we're also having Morgan Rogers having something to address to Pep Guardiola, who has gone ahead obviously see his team win today for the very first time away from home in 70 days. I've just gone ahead obviously put out that much reaction, and you people are really responding to it hugely. So that is exactly what we have in here onto the Rokani Media Football. But remember, we are powered by none other than Muno Gadgets. Who are Muno Gadgets? They're dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you really want a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, quote that, not from Kampala, Uganda, from the United Kingdom, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. That is Mono Gadgets for you, and they'll bring you the best that you deserve at your doorstep, even when you need something that concerns affordable smartwatches. You can call them on that number and the rest will be history. Go ahead and obviously go on TikTok, search for Mono Gadgets, and the rest will be history, right? So that's exactly what you're really having in here for you onto the Rokani Media Football. And Mohamed Kudus is in the picture to obviously join Arsenal. Even when he was going to West Ham, Arsenal was one of the teams that really went hard for Mohamed Kudus. I think they even went ahead and obviously made a bid, if at all I'm not mistaken, to obviously sign this player, because he's a player that plays in various positions. And Charges have told us that Arsenal are ready to spend £83 million on West Ham's Mohamed Kudus, with a 24-year-old keen to join the Gunners to play European football. Now, I tell you, £83 million, how do they come about? You know, they come about because that is the release clause that is in the contract of Mohamed Kudus. And by the way, I like such deals because you don't even need to talk to the club. The moment you really convince the player to come to your side, all you have to do is go ahead, pay the release clause. After paying the release clause, do the needful. You know, just communicate to the club, we are willing to trigger the clause, and then you'll have your player. And that's where Mohamed Kudus comes into this picture. And Arsenal is really trying to obviously pay that amount of money. And why are they in such a panic? Because however much we are told that Bukayo Saka is going to be kept out, is going to be kept out from football by the injury he got for like 8 weeks, it means after him undergoing a surgery, it is going to look scary that he might even return in the late days of April, meaning that we might not see him for January, February, and March and April, meaning that Arsenal are really concerned. And for this, it will raise concern on even Mikel Arteta's side. He'll storm that boardroom and tell the board that, please, I want a left-footed attacking midfielder. And you remember very well when I was warning Arsenal fans last summer that one of the players that Arsenal needed was a player who can play on the right wing. You know, we know Sterling can play on the right wing, but we all know to it that he has also gone ahead to find himself injured. And it's any injury. He might obviously spend the same time that Saka is going to spend out, you know. You understand? So that is what it is for the club of Arsenal. And a lot is not going their way. I might say it's not going the way Arsenal really wants it. So all I want to let you know is simple. Arsenal need a player. They need a player immediately who plays in that position. And they are not supposed to be looking outside the Premier League. You know, they're supposed to look in the Premier League because you need a player who you want to hit the ground running. And when you look at Kudus, he has played in the Premier League. This is for the second season, and he has gone ahead obviously put in everything to where it belongs as a player. And he's not going to be naive all new to the Premier League. He's this kind of man who is going to come up and obviously put in the required shift altogether, and that is Mohamed Kudus for you. You understand? So, with Kudus up and running, and he also wants to leave West Ham, I think it's now in the hands of Arsenal. Can they break the bank and do the needful and really pay £83 million? Because in the summer of 2023, in the winter transfer window of 2023, Arsenal was willing to spend close to £100 million plus on two players. £86 million onto a player called Mikhailo Modric and £75 million on a player called Moise Caicedo. You remember that very well. But none of those deals really fell through, and they really had to go in for Jorginho. They went in for another player called Trossard, who are really working well at the club of Arsenal. So, going mad in the January transfer window, this is not going to be the first attempt for the club of Arsenal. And why Mohamed Kudus so special for the club of Arsenal? Mohamed Kudus is a player who can play in the central midfield. He can play as a right forward. He can play as a false number 9. He can play as a left forward. That is the beauty of Mohamed Kudus. And that's why Arsenal need him immediately. And I think amongst all players that are being linked to, this guy is really the better option, And the big question is, will they have that money, Because when you look at the players they really have around, they don't have a lot to swap with, to replace the guy. Or they can loan Waneri there and say, all right, we are going to give you Waneri, something that I believe Arsenal are really going to do, because that's their pride from the academy. Now, the other big factor that can see this deal really go through immediately, it's the relationship between Arsenal and West Ham. Because recently, Arsenal, in the summer of 2023, went ahead to obviously buy Declan Rice from West Ham, meaning that they are really in good terms with West Ham, because they really paid the amount of money that West Ham wanted. £105 million was cashed out, and Declan Rice crossed from East London to North London. That is it. So that is really very good. And for Mohamed Kudus, I think we'll be eagerly waiting to obviously go ahead and play for Arsenal, because there is his fellow Ghanaian, known as Thomas Partey, meaning that bond will obviously help him really settle in well at the club of Arsenal. And by the way, I've seen Mbeumo, and him and Mbeumo are the two players that I believe that can obviously spark it off immediately when they sign for the club of Arsenal. And Arsenal have a player like Waneri who can really play that side, but I think at this level, they're like, we are not going to test anything. We are going to go in for Kudus and see how things really go on. So let's wait and see how that's going to pan out for Arsenal and Mohamed Kudus, because we all know what it means to obviously pay £83 million into the January transfer window. And it might have been a trick for Arsenal not to spend a lot of money during the summer transfer window in waiting for the winter transfer window to obviously do something special there. But Kudus is a player who has gone ahead to play today as they lost to Liverpool, but you saw that he's really an exceptional player. He hit the bottom post and he also hit the crossbar in the same game, meaning that if those balls were not a fraction off the target, they would have gone ahead obviously see 2 goals scored by Kudus in a game of this magnitude against Liverpool. And he's a very hardworking player, modern player. His work ethic is really great, and we've seen very many United fans say like it would have been Kudus, not Anthony. Eric Ten Hag would have gone to sign Kudus, not Anthony. On several occasions, you've gone ahead to see that being addressed by the fans of Manchester United. So Kudus is a special player, and Arsenal bringing him on will be something great for the club of Arsenal, and it will make some huge sense for them because he's a good player. And I know a good player like him will obviously need to see Arsenal break the bank to obviously bring him to the club of Arsenal. So Arsenal are in for Mohamed Kudus, and they are ready to spend £83 million onto Mohamed Kudus. So 1st January, that's when the summer transfer window opens. That is Wednesday. Wednesday next week. That's when the summer transfer window opens up, and it will close on 3rd February That is on Monday. I understand. So we wait and see how that is really going to pan out, but it's really going to be a hugely competitive transfer window because I see United, raising up their hand to obviously sign players. City is also doing the same. Liverpool, they've just gone ahead to win their game today, and they're like, they're having 45 points, and they're like, we need to obviously stretch it to the next level. We don't want to lose this trophy, not on goal difference, and so on and so forth. That is Liverpool for you. So it's really, really, really hugely competitive, and you're waiting to see who is really going to be the king of the winter transfer window. But Arsenal looks like they're raising their hand to obviously get in a player. And you remember, I've already told Arsenal fans that it's not all about the striker that you need. You need to build a more creative force behind the strikers that you have. They can come in and really create goals. Even if you're not having Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz, a man in Leandro Trossard can lead that line and really score you goals that you want, because you are 100% sure or rest assured that chances will obviously keep coming. That is it for you. So for me, Kudus to Arsenal will be a very good signing, and let's keep an eye onto Mohamed Kudus and see how long it's really going to take them to obviously get this deal over the line, or they look otherwise. And even if they sign him in the transfer window, it will be an early step done before the summer transfer window, because I believe in the summer transfer window, some of the players that Arsenal are looking at to bring in are supposed to be a left-footed player playing onto the right attacking side of the midfield with flair and hard-working names that he really has, as Mohamed Kudus in there for you. And when you look at the Champions League that Mohamed Kudus wants to play there, I think he can really play a very huge role and part into Arsenal really lifting that Champions League, because Saka is really going to be out, and even when they are really playing the last two games, I think, of the group stages, he won't be available. Quarterfinals, I don't see him available. If Arsenal makes it through there, he might not even play in the semi-finals, meaning that they need another player to obviously show to it that they are really ready. And if Arsenal goes in for a player like Mohamed Kudus or Mbeumo, I tell you, it will be a sign sent to everyone that this team is seriously looking in for the trophy. And if Arsenal doesn't sign a player that is really very impactful, then they would have gone ahead to obviously show us that it's all about them participating, not competing. Because if you're really doing it with Liverpool, they've gone ahead to win their game today, and now they're 10 points. Is it 10 or 9? Let me check. Arsenal has 36 points, right? Yeah, they are 9 points behind behind Liverpool. Meaning that you need to obviously get in a player, and when you get in that player, if he does the needful and really gets you going, then you'll obviously do the needful. You need a player who can come in and obviously beat Liverpool. If you get in Mohamed Kudus, he can obviously destroy Liverpool single-handedly at Arsenal, because he'll be playing with a team that has quality. As we all know, to eat that iron sharpens iron, and that is Kudus for you. And he can produce a moment of magic in these big games, and we've seen him at West Ham doing it on several occasions. So if you bring in a player who can help you get 3 points off Liverpool, that means you'll narrow it down to 6. Remember, Liverpool is supposed to play Man City, Man United. They're supposed to play Chelsea, and 1 or 2 draws might come in through, and you just have to get in a player that can help you do your work very well. So for me, I believe that a Mohamed Kudus signing to the club of Arsenal will be a move in the right direction to show Arsenal's aggressiveness on winning the trophy, and to send a message to people outside there that we are coming hard, at this trophy. And it will be a message to the side of Liverpool that we are not here to play. So we wait for that and see how Mohamed Kudus really does it, but I know he cannot reject a move to the club of Arsenal. That is it. He will never reject it. Now, Pep Guardiola, a happy man today for winning a game after some good games of not really seeing himself win, is the manager that let Morgan Rogers go. And Morgan Rogers has said the following about Pep Guardiola: unbelievable manager, unbelievable person. Interactions with him were all positive, trying to help me improve and develop. I owed him a lot for the time I was young. coming through, and he tried his best to help. Remember, Morgan Rogers was at City before he went to Middlesbrough, and that's where the side of Villa went ahead of his to purchase him and bring him in. But Morgan Rogers has developed into one of those players that I believe he won't really stay for two seasons at Aston Villa if at all he's consistent at what he's really doing. And we just can't wait to see how things are really going to be panning out to really put in the best way possible. So that is exactly what Morgan Rogers went ahead to say, and Aston Villa are really having a talent in this player. They're really having a talent in Morgan Rogers, and I tell you what, he's really doing lots and lots of things. And Morgan, they are really, what's Aston Villa playing? Aston Villa is playing Brighton tomorrow, right? They are playing Brighton tomorrow, and they're hosting it at home. And I know Morgan Rogers will obviously come up and obviously put in a very good shift altogether, because he's really doing great into his full debut season in the Premier League. They bought him, I think, the January transfer window, of 2024. And he played 11 games. And this time round, he has played all the games this season, 18, 5 goals and 3 assists. That is Brandon Elliott Rogers. 22 years of age. He still has a lot of future ahead of him, and we just wish him the best of performances as a player into his debut season at Villa. You have to give credit to the scouts of Villa under Unai Emery for obviously going in for John Duran. We all know they got him from the USA. Morgan Rogers. And guys, speaking with a lot of confidence, they are the 2 most performing players at Villa. Players that came in through at peanuts, but they're really doing their best to see to it that everything really moves on as planned. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Go into the comment section. Tell me your thoughts about Arsenal ready to go for Mohamed Kudus. What do you make about it? You get? Then, after that, go ahead and tell me what you think about Morgan Rogers hailing Pep Guardiola. Rokani David is my name again, and hope you guys are really having fun. I'm out, and second video of the day, and you're bringing, I think, 1 or 2 more. Liverpool has beaten, for your information, Liverpool has beaten West Ham by 5-0. Salah has destroyed them to the fullest, and I tell you what, Liverpool is really the best team right now in the Premier League. And it has been Diaz, Gakpo, Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Diego Jota. All of those have been on target, and Liverpool has taken themselves to 45 points, and Arsenal is having 36, meaning that if they win on the first, that is Wednesday, they'll obviously have a lot to do with their sort of business. So, I'm out. Bye-bye. And don't forget to obviously holler at Muno Gadgets if at all you need a brand new phone and a laptop, or a used phone and a used laptop from the United States of America. Sorry, for United Kingdom. And they also have affordable smartwatches. Rokani David remains still. Bye-bye.